Hello and welcome back to Timberborn. In our last episode, we finally started collecting scrap metal up here in Steeltown and started converting that into metal blocks using the shredder. Those metal blocks are being collected here in this warehouse, as we have extra, of course, but some gears and some berries snuck in on me. And then they're getting shipped via this distribution post to the central shipping district here, and then I think they're coming from here. Yeah, and then they're going from here downtown to bring them into here, and we're using those to make a carousel and a printing press. I'm going to kick the game speed up a little bit so that we can get those finished up today. I did let the game run a day or two in the cycle, just so that some of those metal blocks would be shipped, and also some of these plants would be picked where we designated where we want to have the beehives. So now that we've made some progress, I noticed that we aren't collecting near enough metal. So I want to hopefully have an extra person here. Oh, we have 2 unemployed people here. Let's set up a metal, what's it called? Scavenger flag here. And then, of course, we need a path to it. And then we'll have 2 people gathering the scrap metal. And I think that'll help out a little bit. And then we can put the other person in here to serve as a builder and whatnot. All right. And we don't need any more than 1 person here, I don't think, in the distribution post, because we're only shipping 1 item out of here. So that should be fine as well. So let's come back over here. And while these are getting their last blocks and gears and such, why are we so short on gears? Oh, well, a kind of oh. Because somebody filled it up with plant. Oh, we don't have a worker in the other gear workshop. But that could be a problem. Let's take one of you out of here. Like that. And I think that balances us out and puts them in here. No. Oh, they're going in here now. All right. That should do it now. And now we have 0 unemployed. Great. All right. And they're still using this this temple every night. I think pretty much everyone's getting there. In fact, everyone is getting there because from this town, that is, because there's 42 in this town, and they're all their spirituality is satisfied. So while they're getting ready to sleep, let's go ahead and start planning out some or laying out some beehives. They'll of course take wood and planks and paper to build, but we can at least lay them out. We can't put one there just yet. One here, and then I think we were going to have one down here someplace. Maybe we don't have it opened up yet, but that's fine. This is good enough. And so the beehives boost the growth of nearby crops, and I did read someplace that they do actually affect trees and berry bushes, which then I would say that they should well, yeah, I would say that they should call it something different than crops, if so. Because this says crops too at the farmhouse, and the farmhouse only gathers those 3 items. The gatherer gathers berries, and the lumberjack gathers trees. So it's pedantic, I suppose, but that's the way things go sometimes. Hopefully they will claim that one pretty soon. So this just needs gears, and this just needs metal blocks. Hopefully they will get these done. Now that we have 2 of them working full-time on gear production, we can hopefully make some difference. We did lose a few adults, some to the sending them over here to work in this district, since we did send 6 or 8 of them over here, I think, and then they filled up with children. And then I think we might have lost some adults to old age in the last few days, actually. So once we get these children aged up here, that'll be much better. And we actually have possibly too much capacity here in this town. We have 48 capacity in this town, and that might be too much, because the more capacity you have, the more children you have, and you need to make sure that you can accommodate them with the food. So now that these are here, does it say what they affect? It doesn't look like it. I've read anywhere between 20% and 33% boost. So if we look at the crops, no, not those. Here. We look at the crops here, which this also says plant crops, and this says plant trees and bushes. But anyways, this says days to grow 4. So it'll either give you a 20% or to 33% boost from what I've read. So that takes your days to grow from 4 down to like 3 point, I'm doing YouTube math here, 3.2 or possibly as low as 2.7 days to grow. Same thing here. These are 6 days to grow, so that takes you down to like 4.8 or something, all the way potentially down to 4, and then the wheat takes 10 days, and the math is so on. So we're going to continue with this, though. Someone pointed out in the comments yesterday about setting the floodgates to 0 means that the water levels are all low, where that means that the that when we do turn them on to capture the water for the pumps, for the height here, they don't ever get very deep. And that is a very good statement. The reason that I did put these down to 0 is just because of the sloshing. But I think now we can probably put them up at a half. And we'll just start capturing a little bit more water here. And I think that'll be fine. And I think I can just go through and set them all at a half. Except I'm not going to set that one just yet. And that might kill some of the power for a moment until the until the things fill up, which I guess isn't great, but it is what it is. Yep, so they're all caught. Now this one's going to have to slosh here first. Maybe I should have waited for some of these. Yeah, let's wait on that one. We'll get this one rolling first. We're waiting on a lot more gears. A lot more gears. I think I'll wait on that one too, so we can keep this power moving. And it's, of course, flooding a little, but that's fine. It'll fix itself eventually. As long as they're at a half, it'll fix itself eventually. It's when you put up to 1, you have to be really, really careful. I kind of like the flowing of the water, as I mentioned in the last episode. I like the way the water flows. It's really, really good water physics for a, I don't want to say a basic game, but for a game that doesn't need to simulate its water physics, it's really good water physics. Okay. And this should be filling up. It'll take it a little bit to fill up, though. Which I'm kind of filibustering a little bit to let... Actually, you know what? Let's put this actually to 0. And that'll at least let this one fill up, and then overflow, and let these keep running that way. And that's probably the better option to do. And just slowly put them back up to 0.5. All right. And then we don't necessarily have to adjust them after that. So we have all the bees, except for that one, working. So they should be building or boosting the production of the plants. We're still waiting on... Oh, this is ready to go. No, it's not. 10 more metal blocks. Dang it. And a bunch more gears. Yeah, it's a good thing I turned the water back on, so the power's back on now. How did we lose a worker here? Are we that short? Do we have a bunch more dye? We must have. And I can't reduce population anymore. Unless I, like, turn off, say... actually, you know what? Let's turn off a lumberjack. And I guess we'll turn off a scrap gatherer because... man... We don't need one of these anymore. Actually, we can delete this one. Yes. And we needed to clean this up as well. Put a path there. And then demolish a path here. Yes. Alright, now we're working again. We have one unemployed now. Okay. Arg. We'll turn this one back on then. No, wait. Turn this one back on. Of course, somebody could have just grown up as well. And this town or this district could use a few more people, or could hold a few more people as well. We're 4 short. How are you doing population-wise? 3 unemployed. There's not a whole lot we can do about that because... Oh, yeah, actually there is. I could take... Hold on, let's pause for a moment. Pause, please. I could take those 3 and ship them out here. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Let's destroy one of these houses. And let's migrate population from here to Steel Town. 3 adults, migrate, please. That'll fill that town up. This town is at 8, so it'll go up to 9 eventually. And this town is now at almost capacity. We're 1 short of capacity. That will help. Let's turn this back on then. Wrong one. This one. 2 and 3. Okay, that's, I think, better. Because there's no sense in having unemployed beavers. As long as you have an even multiple of 3, then it works out fine. Which I'll have to have 1 more unemployed one here. But that works out fine anyway. I can always employ them at the distribution post when it comes time. Actually, I could just go ahead and flag it now, and then they'll get a job as soon as they become... As soon as they appear and become an adult. Alright, so the water levels are rising everywhere, as we hoped. We could set this one now to a half. And that'll pause, I think, the water flow just a little bit. But actually, maybe it won't, because it should already be there. This one, I think we left at a half, but this one we need to upgrade. And we're at 0.6 or so. That's good. And how badly is it sloshing? Not bad, actually. Ah, we finally delivered everything we need. No, we didn't either. We're still waiting on metal blocks. And we still need lots of gears. Okay. The next thing, let's think. What else can we work on while we're waiting on that stuff to happen? You're just slowly making metal blocks. You 2 can haul when it's time. The other things we need to work on are here. Are we always here in the well-being? We're working on fun and we're working on knowledge right now. So the only other things we can really work on are, I mean, other than, you know, boosting the productivity of some of these other things, are the awe well-being stats, which we can take care of with one of these monuments. We have 1100, so I'm going to go ahead and take the most inexpensive one for right now. And we can put that down someplace where they all go. They all go here where they live, so that's a good place. I kind of wish I had a space that was more here, but actually this might even be better. Is there a connection point? No. Let's just put it right in here. That way they have to be within the range of it, because it's within the range of all the houses. So that'll be good. And they'll figure that out in the morning, I guess. I'm going to kick the speed up to high. I would kind of like to know why we're having such a hard time. I guess it's just because of just time, because of production time here. Building lacks workers. Oh. We lose another one? We must have. Well, I don't know that we really need a worker in the hauling post. And you don't have any logs? How do you not have logs? Oh, I know why. Because I turned this off in the last episode and told myself that I needed to remember to turn it back on again. And guess what I didn't do? I didn't turn it back on again. And of course now it's nighttime. Berries are full, of course. Planks are reasonably doing reasonable. And it's taken them a bit of work to deliver all the logs they need. We have 5 unemployed beavers here. Okay, let's put a couple in this, and we'll put the rest in here. No, we have... we'll do 4 there. To be 5... No. That's weird. I know it said 5 unemployed. Maybe we're going to need 1 for here and 1 for here, maybe? No, this one doesn't need any. Finally, we have printing. Let's take this down. How much, doing a bunch of shipping, so I'd rather have the workers here in the shipping. There we go. Well, that might be why we had 5 and then we had 0. These 2. We are making books. We need a place to store books, though. Let's see if I can find a spot to do a... Well, I guess we don't really need to store them. They can go and get them from here. But ideally, we would have a spot to put a warehouse down and store the books. I think we could just put warehouses in right in here. Maybe put 1 here for books. Ah, they finished the labor monument. That's great. Oh, they're networked together in the power. It's in the power network even though it doesn't need power. Okay, you need to stop. Allow none except bread. And you need to allow none and accept books, which are both near the top, but I scrolled down anyway. That's fine. Right. They are cranking out the books now. How about you with the metal? Are you still cranking out the metal? Yeah. Okay. And how about you with the gears? Still need lots of gears. Gears are a bit slower. Just a bit. Yeah, we could probably use an additional gear workshop. I have extra power here. 540 and you're going to need 400, so I do have 140 extra power. Wonder if I should daisy chain... Yeah, I should. I should take out some of these berries. Let's designate them for destruction. 2 by 3, is it? 2, 3. Yes, 2 by 3. And of course we need to take these out as well. Put a path in. And I'm going to daisy chain it off of the carousel. The other gear workshop. You see immediately the water stopped flowing there. There it goes. But then it jumps right back up as soon as they come over the edge. Now this is going to flood a little. Just fine. We're just sloshing a little. It'll be fine. Just a little bit of slush. And then, let's see. Wood, gears, here. And path. Here. Yeah, this is why I had it down to 0. It can't really handle the slosh here. Maybe I just turn these ones off and leave the rest of them at a half. That way, there's not as much sloshing going on. I want to turn this one up to a half now because this lake is full. And our lake here is still half full. Hasn't evaporated completely yet. Oh, you need a worker. Right. Let's take one off of here. Oh, it's not getting its power. Also, why did I lose? How did I lose? Must have had some, yeah, some deaths. Okay, so that doesn't chain through here. Well, that's a bummer. I just wasted all those materials. Because I think the power is only on this bit back here where I connected it to the water wheels. So that's not going to work. And I've kind of built myself into a corner here a little bit with the existing power. So I think I'm just going to wait. Although what could be happening, actually, is I could have stockpiled up way too many gears elsewhere here. Yeah, I kind of did. Let's help them out a little. Let's turn off the gear shipments here, and let's turn on gear shipments to here. Just send them back, and that'll get us the rest of the way there in the morning. All right, go do your evening rituals, including the rituals at the temple, and then come on back. Let's take a look at knowledge here, just for this town, of course. It's getting there. Not great yet. Spirituality is not quite being met either. Aesthetics are doing okay, but we could use a little bit of boost to that. And we're still working on fun. One other thing I could have done, if I didn't want to remove the other lodge from here, or actually I could have paused it, I suppose, is I could have put some science in here and just use those people to produce additional science instead of having all the science being produced here. That's an idea that I could have done, that I didn't do. Ah, we have a carousel now. It's time for fun. Nice. Alright, so the carousel is carouseling. The books are still producing. We're 96% productive, which means we're not doing a whole lot of carrying because we do have haulers, so that's good, although we could use some more haulers. It's 86% efficient. Is that just this, the 129 divided by 150? Oh, we're over-demanding our power. Well, that'll do it. Let's fix that. There you go. Give our builder something to do. We have 11 children here. Once those get to be adults, we'll have plenty of jobs available. Or plenty of jobs that we can fill. Plenty of workers available to fill the available jobs. There we go. Let me take a look at this. Is this going to be... Yeah, so you can't connect the power to anything but probably just this box back here. Oh, nice. If you then I clicked on an individual beaver, so you can see kind of what the individual beaver is doing. But you can also see the beavers that are getting their fun in at the carousel. And hopefully we'll get some power in the morning, and we'll be able to make this stuff. I should have noticed that. I don't like that the numbers are in this order. I feel like, I mean, this one makes sense because you're only getting 103 out of 120. But this one I think should be the other way around. You're demanding 630 out of 540. So you're oversubscribed. It feels like to me that those two numbers should be swapped. It would make more sense to my brain at least. But of course that's my brain. Alright, looks like we're maintaining right around 0.64, 0.65, which is interesting given that the height is 0.5. That is maintaining slightly higher. Interesting to me, at least. One of the other reasons that this was doing a lot of slushing is because there's no lake here, I think. So it didn't have anywhere to kind of absorb it. Whereas this one here, if I change the height of this one, or these ones, there's this huge lake here in the middle that can kind of absorb that change in pressure. Why are you not moving? Is it trying to fill this lake up still? Okay. It looked like it was a slush issue also. This one's probably not strictly necessary anymore, because this one should hold the water back for here, and then this one is necessary to keep the water up here for the crops and stuff, although it should be down here next to the natural falls there, so that it keeps these trees watered. We are surprisingly consuming most of these trees we have laid out, although we could replace some of the pine trees again with maples, therefore extending our tree production a little. That is a possibility. So let's take a look overall again at this town. Looks like we had a couple grown up, but we did lose a couple to old age. Whether they're in this town or not, I don't know. So this is not quite meeting everyone's fun demands. So we may actually need another carousel for these 43. We're not quite meeting the knowledge demands. So we may need a little bit more book manufacturing. And of course, we would need to also build the additional components or the additional statues for the awe. And we can also build some more of these aesthetic pieces to boost the aesthetics of the town in random spots as well. And we could build roofs on top of these houses, since we're not going to stack them up any higher. Those are all things that we could do. I think that, but I mean, they satisfy aesthetics, but within one tile. But I guess that works fine because they're satisfying the people who live in the house. So that should be fine. The other components that we might need to work on are a little bit more in the food, especially it looks like potatoes right now. But I think we're doing pretty well. I think we've done pretty well. And so I think what we're going to do is we're going to call this episode the end of this series. But I'm going to start another series pretty much right away. There may be a day in between due to obligations this weekend. But start another series pretty much right away. And start again with this faction. Only on normal. And in order to deal with the greater, speaking of, the greater risk caused by droughts and the extended length of the droughts and the more frequency of the droughts. But I think by the strategies we've kind of learned and figured out in this series, having dams or levees or floodgates set up to keep the water in areas, then that keeps crops watered, that keeps them with water so they can have water to drink. The only thing it hurts is power, but you know, we could set up some of the other power, the power wheels, and have the beavers run on them if we really needed more power, if we really needed to keep processing things. And later in the game, we could also set up windmills and large windmills to produce additional power for the city. If we lay things out a little bit more spread out than I did here, not knowing what was expected, it was a little tough to figure out how to lay things out exactly. But we could lay things out a little bit more wide open, and then we would have more room for the windmills, or we could literally just run power shafts from, say, way up here down across the water, plug them into the water wheels, and connect that power to the rest of the town. But I think we've pretty much looked at everything else except for those additional decoration items and this water dump that I really don't see that much of a point to. Just want to take a quick... Oh, no, we didn't. We forgot all about explosives. We need to make the bombs. And we need to find a place to make the bombs. Huh. Wally didn't think. I guess I'm going to have to make them over here. We need to make dynamite, and we need to experience the dynamite. So this episode will be a little bit longer, so we can make the dynamite. Let's see, any platforms? Here. And then I'm going to need to have power connections on top of it. Actually, I wonder if this is going to exceed my power. We have 90 and this needs... Yeah. Okay, never mind. Let's cancel this. Guess I can't use that. Yes. Yes. Do I need two? Maybe. And let's put another power wheel in here. Water wheel in here. There we go. 2 more spaces, and we'll get that stuff built as quickly as possible. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause, let them get this stuff built. That way we can experience how the dynamite works without wasting a lot of time. So I'll be right back. And welcome back. The beavers had just finished building the water wheel when the drought started. So we got like 7% done, and then couldn't do anything else. So I am letting them work now. The drought has ended, so water is flowing again. For the first time in 3 days. It was a 3-day long drought, so it's a good thing that I paused the recording during that time, because that would have been a long extension to the recording that I wasn't expecting. So, which I guess I should have been, but nevertheless. So this is all working here now. We're making the stuff here again. We have the fun going on, which is good. And we have enough power here. Yep, we have enough power in this network now to satisfy everything that we're using as well. So we are making now some explosives. And in order to use explosives, we need to go in here to the landscape menu and actually unlock dynamite. Which is interesting because it's just a buildable version of the explosives that you're making. Like, it's not a separate thing. It just takes one explosive to build one dynamite. So we want to try to use this, and I'm not going to... I don't know what I would do, what I'm going to do specifically with it. What I would do specifically with it at this point in this map anyway. But I think I just want to try it out. So we're just going to put it someplace around here just to try out. And let's see, how do I want to do this? Maybe we could build a little bit of a channel here just so we can see the effects of it. We could build... No, I need to build it in this town. Just to see the effects of it, maybe we can just build a little bit of a channel right here. Let's see what happens. I have no idea what's going to happen. Here they come to get the explosives from here, presumably. Okay, good. There's a detonate button. I was hoping. And so from what I've read, it triggers the adjacent dynamites. So once this one's built, then we can detonate. And it just digs a channel. It digs a channel 1 block deep. And I assume, let's see, take the water level out of here. Yeah, it digs a channel 1 block deep, and it clears out whatever block it was sitting on. So that'll be useful if you want to, and this did actually irrigate more of this area. So we could actually have dug this channel just a little bit deeper, and we'd have irrigated the rest of this floor, which would be useful for farming and tree planting, of course. Irrigating that is. And it even, does away with the need for things like the irrigation towers if you do it right. So that's where we're going to leave this episode and this series. Now that we have experienced pretty much everything in the game, we're going to come back and play on normal, and I think on a different map, but we'll pick that out in the first episode of the next series. So as I mentioned a few minutes ago, there may be a day between this episode and the next one due to some real-life obligations, and then you should be able to come back and enjoy another series of Timberborn. Thank you for coming, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.